Alright guys, welcome back to Captain Cuz 6951 scale model builds. This is going to be part 2 of my Bofors 40mm gun and tractor build. So far, I've got the tractor all painted up and pretty much assembled. We still have to do more work on it. I had a happy accident though. I tried something different and I tried to paint the suspension with Tamiya smoke. I thought it would come out to like a dark gray or whatever, but it came out to this rusty brown looking stuff and I really like it, so I call that a happy mistake. So that'll be going on the vehicle just the way you see it. We will be installing my exhaust system. We'll be doing a little bit of hand painting here on the seats and this, whatever this is in the front might be some sort of console, steering wheel, and then I'm also going to show you how I do my wheels and tires. So with all of that being said, give me a minute to set all of this up and we will be right back. Alright guys, we are going to start with the interior parts so I can put the rest of the cab together. So we're going to paint those with this Vallejo Air, and it's called US Sand. And so we're just going to put a little bit in here and just go ahead and paint those seats up, and then we'll use black for the steering wheel. So here we go. Now they show you paint colors on here, but they have a brand on it I've never heard of. It's called Humbrol or something like that. So I had to convert all the colors that they show because they don't tell you what the colors are. So I had to go to their site and convert all the colors that they show. And this is one of the colors that they did show. So let's pick him up and we'll just hit him. And the seats. I know you're not going to see the back, but at least I can say it was painted. I promise. Alright, and then this seat. Now it's funny because they're telling you to paint the figures the same color, which I don't think is really cool. So if I decide to paint the figures, I will paint them what color I think their uniform should be. And there you go. Nice and pretty. Now this one here I'm going to have to turn over and paint on the other side when it dries. So just put him on the side for now. And now we're going to do the steering wheel. First I'm going to clean my brush. Always good to have some paper towels. Alright, so alright, steering wheel, we're just going to use some Vallejo black. There you go. Just a little bit much. Alright. Let that dry and give that a second coat. Alright, so I'm going to let these parts dry up and then we'll start assembling them and see how this is all going to come together. Stay tuned, we'll be back in a few. Alright guys, it's time to start putting the suspension on the vehicle and get it ready for the wheels and tires. As you can see, the way I do my wheels and tires is I will paint the entire backside black, but the front side I will paint in the color of the vehicle, which is here. Then, instead of using black on the tires, I would be using a different color. And when I get to the wheels, I will tell you what that color is, because I watched a lot of videos to see how to paint and weather wheels. Anyhow, we're going to start putting the suspension on here. And what we're going to use is, hopefully, we can use this quick set. Let me move some of this stuff out of my way. Alright, so we do the front suspension first. And it's got a couple of locating holes there, and there's a couple of locating pins on the suspension itself. I don't know if this, to me, is going to work. A little bit in that hole, a little bit in that hole, and then there's some up here. Now, I just don't really like this Tamiya so much. Trying to get those locating holes. It's funny, every time you dry fit it, it goes right in, but as soon as you add the glue, it doesn't want to play. There you go. There you go. Front suspension is in. Now the rear suspension will have to go in. There's also locating pins for those, here and here. And I had to make a drive shaft because, as usual, my drive shaft took a vacation somewhere. Have no clue where it went. Luckily, I have some material, and I used a, you can see the front drive shaft right there. Kind of matches up with the back. I did have a bigger size on that rod, but I elected to go with that size because it looks a bit more prototypical. Anyhow, I couldn't put the exhaust in until I put that in. I could have, but it would be a lot easier to put this in first. So, with that being said, there's paint on those two pins. So I think I'm going to change glue right now. I think what we're going to use is going to be the heavier Tamiya. The other way. There we go. So there are two holes. If you remember when I was putting this together, I showed you guys there was a couple of holes there. There and there. And put a little bit on the tip of the drive shafts. Now, I just need to get lucky and get everything all lined up. I think I'll just use it with my fingers. Let me put my extra eyeballs on. Alright, and here we go. Huh. Well, let's see if we can get this over a little bit. And there you go. Suspension is now on. And in a few minutes, we'll start doing the wheels. I'll put the exhaust in as soon as that dries up a little bit so I don't knock it off. So, now on the exhaust, there is a detent right there. And there's one right up close to the engine block. In between the spring and the engine block, there's another detent down in there that will line up the exhaust system. So, we'll just let everything dry up a little bit, and then we'll be back. Alright guys, it is time to put the exhaust system on, and I am doing it this way is because I can see the detent down in there where this has got to go. So we're going to put a little glue on the tips of these guys, and we'll see if we can get it in there with some luck. So a little bit of glue on that side, and a little bit of glue on that side. Now, let's see if I can do this. In there to that one, and in there to that one. You know, everything in this kit is going to put together really, really easy, and I like it. There's only one problem I found with this kit, and that is that the steering wheel is on the wrong side of the vehicle. LOL. Anyhow, the bottom of this vehicle is now complete. As you can see, I've got all the suspension on there. You can see the little drive shaft that I built that's in there. You can see the exhaust system, blah, blah, and everything looks good so far. So, we'll paint the wheels and tires next, and then we'll complete the interior, and we'll start on the whatever's in the bed of the truck. So, be right back. Alright guys, like I mentioned to you earlier, what I did was I painted the back side of the tires and wheels black. You're not going to really see that, so it doesn't matter if I do the front different than the back. Now, the videos that I watched made a lot of sense to me. Tires are not really black. So the videos I watched said that they used some dark German gray. I have Panzer dark gray, and that's what I am going to use to do these tires. And I am going to hand paint them, and I'm going to put a little bit of this paint in my little palette that I have over here, this guy, and I will paint these very carefully because I don't want to get it on the center. And I know there's masks to buy for this stuff, but I just don't feel like buying this stuff. So we'll try doing it this way. Alright, so we're going to put a little bit of this stuff here in my palette, per se. And then we're going to pick one of these wheels up. And I know it's going to need 2 coats because I already tried it once. Very, very fine brush. Move this over to the side, put this over here. And I am holding it in my hand. And this is where my steady hands will come into play. The color is really, really nice. I like the color. It really looks like a tire. It may not come out to be 100% perfect, but close enough. And then once I get the tire circumference done, like that bird, huh? I'll let it dry, and I will give it a second coat. And I also do the treads, kind of blend it into the back. Alright, so that's what that one looks like. Alright, I'm going to do a couple more of these on camera, and then I'll do the rest off camera. I'll do one more on camera. My trick is to kind of pull it away from the center. And then once I get it established, then I'll kind of go around. Now these might need a second coat, but I really do like the dark gray. Alright, there's number 2. Alright, I'll finish the rest off camera and I'll bring you back when those are ready to put on the vehicle. Be back in a little. Alright guys, now that my tires and wheels are painted, as you can see, they don't look too bad for a hand painted. And I do agree that the dark gray looks a lot better than black. Alright, so we're going to continue on with this tractor build. We're going to install the interior, which is completely painted now, and then we're going to paint all of these toolboxes that are back here. In the instructions, they tell you kind of like what color to paint them, but in order to find the colors, I had to go to this sheet. I believe it was this sheet. Yes. I had to go to the information sheet and look around to find out where the colors were. Let me go the other way. There you go. And down here, they give you the numbers and they tell you what company they are from. And this one was from Humbrol. So I had to look up Humbrol on my computer and find out what these colors were. So I got the colors close with my Vallejo paints. Anyhow, I'm not sure what color to paint this. It doesn't actually give you any color for those. But I think I'm going to go ahead and paint them either a gunmetal, a light gunmetal, or I am going to paint them silver. I think the gunmetal would be better. So, with that being said, let me get set up to paint those parts, which are here. And we'll come back when that's done. Be right back. Alright guys. Let's go ahead and finish up this interior. I did put this cover on because there's nothing that has to go inside of there anyhow. So, we got 2 seats that got to go in there. The steering wheel is in, and I don't know if you guys can see that. Oops, sorry about that. You guys can see the, whatever that thing is right there, the center console. I'm not used to this camera being here. Let me zoom out. Oh, you know what? I'm using the wrong camera, that's why. There you go. Yeah, now you can see it a lot better. You can see that thing in the center there. I don't know what that is. Maybe some sort of control tower or something. I don't know. Anyhow, we're going to put the 2 seats in. And then the interior will be finished and I could put the cover on that. Now let's see. I'm going to dry fit it first. Alright, that one looks good. There's actually, you guys can see that there's actually a alignment pin, if you want to call it that. Now since there's paint down there, I'm going to use this full strength. Right there. And once the interior is done, we can go ahead and start putting the wheels on, because the wheels are done. Alright, there's one. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, and seat number 2. Give it a little bit of adhesive down there. And that's the driver's seat. And there you go. So now, interior is done. For what, 3 pieces that were there? Actually 4 pieces of the steering wheel. So actually I could put this cover on, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'll wait till the very end to put that on there because I don't know if I want to put the driver in there. Excuse me. Anyhow, I'm waiting for my parts to dry up with paint. As you can see, I did paint all the toolboxes in a gunmetal. And I will spray them with a matte finish to dull them down a bit. All the wheels and tires are done, as you can see right there. So we're almost done with this part of the build. So stay tuned and let me get more organized, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. Alright guys, you can see the tires and wheels are painted. I'm going to add a little bit of dirt on there, and I have this weathering powder that I've had for quite a while. It's like a sand color, so I already did this one. I'm not too sure how I like it, but we'll go ahead and do another one and just see how it works. So, in the tire treads themselves, we are going to go ahead and add a bunch of this stuff so it looks like it's been in dirt. And let's put this over here for now. And we'll just go ahead and do this all the way around. Come back at you. He wants to run away. So no, I don't want to get dirty. And all I'm doing is kind of filling in the treads, so it looks like it's been in the mud and stuff. I'm using a pretty stiff brush here. Hey. Alright, and we'll twist it around a little bit. And we'll add a little bit more. And I'll do this to all the wheels, and then lay it back down on there, and then I'll just go over it with the brush, just kind of on the outside. And there you go. So I'll do the other four, and then we'll actually mount these on the vehicle, and we'll see how that's going to look. Be back in a few. Alright guys, what you're looking at right now is a 99.99% completed tow vehicle for the Bofors gun. So, what I have missing is the front bumper support. It decided to go someplace, and I'll find it eventually, like I found a couple other of my parts. I need to do a little touch up right here along the edge because I had to sand that down to mount these guys. There's also another part that took a vacation. It's something similar to this that goes on this side. I don't know where that went. The wheels and tires, they turned out really good, as you can see. And also, the underneath looks really cool. I like the color that the differentials and the front suspension came out. The exhaust was tainted in the rust. So, and you can see that I have some dirt in the tread of the tires there. So, yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to call this video good. And then the next video we're going to start on will be the trailer and then the gun. So with all that being said, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. Captain Cuz out for now.